Hey guys, Happy New Year, Happy 2020, hope you're all doing well, cause if you didn't already hear, my home country is not doing so well. That's why there was no intro to this video, nor am I wearing my suit, cause this is a very serious situation that I'd like to raise some awareness for. Australia is notorious for its bushfires, but right now there are bushfires burning that are a whole new, terrifying level. Luckily, I am completely safe and sound, thank you so much to everyone who reached out to me. It's just the smoke I have to deal with, but there are way too many other people that I sadly cannot say the same for. These bushfires started in September 2019, we're in January 2020, and there are still many months to go. Already over 1,500 homes have burned to the ground with 25 lives confirmed lost and many missing. 10 million hectares have burned. Let's put that into perspective. A sports field is 1 hectare. Just one. Australia is basically the same size as the USA, so now here's a map of Australia with all the fires. I know that looks ridiculous, but that's because it is. This is insane. There is so much smoke that it's drifted over to New Zealand and turned their glaciers brown, and recently the smoke has reached its way to South America. I never knew it was possible for bushfires to burn at this scale. It's absolutely catastrophic. If you're wondering why we don't just go and put them out, you've probably only seen fires in a contained environment. The flames in this bushfire can be up to 70 meters tall. For comparison, the Sydney Opera House is 65 meters tall. And our bush is full of eucalyptus trees. These trees are full of eucalyptus oil, which is highly flammable, to the point that they make the air in general more flammable and can explode when on fire. Here's a clip showing just how quickly these fires can tear through our trees. Literally a few seconds is all it took for where the firefighter was originally standing to be completely engulfed in flames. I don't know how the firefighters even stand that close to the blaze without keeling over in heat stroke. Unfortunately, fire doesn't sleep, so our fireys have been fighting around the clock to try and stop these fires, even with reinforcements from New Zealand, USA, and Canada. I have the utmost respect for every single person fighting on those front lines. They are superheroes doing the impossible. I haven't even mentioned the animals yet. It's been estimated that 500 million animals have perished due to these fires. That's 500 million.
Estimating that more than 1 billion animals may have been killed directly or indirectly by these fires.
30% of the koala population has been wiped out in New South Wales alone. What a lot of people don't realise is that it's not always getting caught in the flames themselves that wipes out these animals. The main thing is habitat loss. With all the trees burned to a crisp, there's no food, there's no water, there's no homes for a very large portion of our wildlife that depends on it. A lot of animals, such as koalas and birds, will climb up when they're threatened, because, being up high in the tree, safety, nothing can get them there, except for smoke and high temperatures, so they suffocate, they overheat, and they're literally dropping dead out of the trees. Then there's the situation on Kangaroo Island, which is home to some of the most diverse and unique wildlife you can find in Australia, such as the glossy black cockatoo. This bird is extinct on the mainland, but it has its last refuge on Kangaroo Island, and thanks to the amazing conservation efforts, its numbers were brought up from 150 to over 400. However, now with these bushfires, a lot of their key breeding and feeding areas have burned. There's fears that there won't be enough food to go around for the last remaining flocks, and unfortunately these cockatoos aren't the only animal unique to Kangaroo Island that is now facing extinction after these fires. There's also the Kangaroo Island dunnart, an adorable, extremely rare, mouse-like marsupial that only had an estimated 300 members on the island before all the fires. There's been efforts to find any remaining survivors and bring them into captivity because there's going to be absolutely no food left out there for them, but so far none have been found. Right now, you're probably wondering, why? Why are the fires so bad? Where did it start? Australia has a bushfire season every summer as the hot weather dries the land and makes it insanely easy for fires to spread. The fires themselves can be started by pretty much anything. Lightning, embers from campfires, heavy equipment, burn-offs, a shard of glass magnifying the sun in just the wrong way, and also, unfortunately, deliberate arson. However, this season, we experienced our worst drought in years, and thanks to climate change making spring extra dry as well, the fires started earlier and bigger than expected. There's still a lot of investigating going into the causes of the fires, but so far it looks to be a bit of everything. There's a lot of debate, there's a lot of politics, a lot of information all over the place, so annoyingly the question of what started the fires isn't an easy one to answer. Right now, it's all about getting the fires under control and everyone to safety. The majority of you guys watching this won't be Australians, so if you want to help us out, what can you do? Firstly, you can raise awareness just by talking about it, sharing articles, sharing videos. I've linked a whole bunch for you in the description, and I've been sharing heaps of stuff on my Twitter. Then, if you want to go the extra mile, you can donate to one of the many charities helping out with the recovery efforts. Let me introduce you to some of the really good ones. There's the Australian Red Cross, who are there helping the thousands of people who have had to evacuate and are still staying in various recovery shelters because it's either still not safe to return to their homes or they don't have a home to return to anymore. They provide first aid, food, and help people get reunited with their loved ones that have gotten lost in all the chaos. The Port Macquarie Koala Hospital, one of the leading organisations fighting for the recovery of our now extremely decimated koala population. They take in the injured and homeless koalas to rehydrate them and treat any burns. And they've also begun plans to build a special koala ark as a safe habitat for the koalas to live and repopulate. For just $40 Australian, you can adopt a wild koala and help protect the species. The New South Wales Fire Service has been fighting these fires since day one and are graciously accepting donations to help their efforts. If you thought wearing a fursuit got hot, these guys wear 20 kilos of insulating gear while standing directly next to these ginormous bushfires. I've sat like 10 meters away from a bonfire and gotten too hot before. I can't fathom the sheer strength these fireys have to be able to keep fighting this battle for us. Bale is the saving grace for our incredible farmers that have lost far too much land and stock in this devastation. Without any hay, they can't feed their livestock that survive the flames, which then unfortunately end up perishing from starvation. However, with Bale, you can literally buy anywhere from a single bale of hay to an actual semi-truck's worth of bales for these farmers that so desperately need it. And the last one that I'd like to mention is Wires. These guys are our largest wildlife rescue organisation and have already been doing so much for all the different species of injured wildlife throughout these extremely dire times. Last month alone, they received over 20,000 calls and are still getting between 600 and 1,000 calls every day. They only have so many volunteers and supplies, so they would very greatly appreciate any donations you have to give. I've linked some more charities for you in the description, but these are the main ones that I wanted to point out. Their links are in the description as well. If you made it this far into the video, seriously, thank you so much. I am really sorry that my first video back is one of this nature, but it was extremely necessary. I'd like to hope you'd heard something about the fires before this, but if not, then I'm glad I was able to bring it to your attention. Australia still has an excruciatingly long way to go before this is all over, so please watch all the relevant news outlets to keep an eye on how things are going. I really hope I only need to make one video about these bushfires. Alright, thank you so much for watching. Please check out all the links and sources that I've put in the description, and to any fellow Aussies watching this, I hope you're doing okay. I will see you all next time. Bye!